All right, we are back. November 27th, 2018. Welcome to the morning live stream. Gonna be doing a Batman today. Character I'm quite familiar with, having done, let's see, 8 years of various projects in the 90s with writer Doug Minch, penciler Kelly Jones, me on the inking. Having inked Batman Year 3 over penciler Pat Broderick, writer Marv Wolfman, and the first 5 issues of Legends of the Dark Knight, written by Denny O'Neil and penciled by Ed Hannigan. So, anyway, gonna go ahead and get started on this one today. I'm gonna try to do maybe a little something different, and I'm still trying to put my finger on what that is. Haven't really worked it out yet. But my first thought was trying to do a little more with the wash tones going into black instead of like almost, have the tone going into black instead of a solid black and stuff. But I don't think that's going to be totally possible. Just for the nature of this, I might experiment with it on this side because it's going to be very dark. Light coming in from this side, this will be very light. All this is going to be black. His face is going to be in a toned shadow. So just going to experiment a little bit and see what I can get going. So that was my thinking on that. And excuse me just one second. Okay, I had to clear my throat, so I just muted my mic so you didn't have to hear that. And I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. And decide where I want to start. I think I'm going to go back to the pocket brush pen on this to start with. I want y'all to know that I did came in early this morning and put together a list of the supplies that I've been using on these morning streams. I actually, on my Google Doc, I had originally made them hyperlinks when I cut and paste them into the show notes. The link disappeared. Now the good thing is that I described the exact tool. So all you really have to do is everything is available at Dick Blick. Apparently, I had set up an affiliate link some time ago. I don't think I ever used it. And I'm not using it now. So just so you know, it's there. You might be able to find the supplies locally. You might even have a Dick Blick store closer to you than I do. The nearest one I have is over in Tampa, which regrettably now, due to construction, it's like a 4-hour drive instead of the used to be 2.5 hour. So it's around 4 now. So that's it's a bit of a drive to go over and pick up some supplies when I can get them delivered for free. My gas expenditure would not offset. I would like, if I ever am over in Tampa, just and have the chance, I would like to stop by the store. Now, let's see. Yeah, I was up right at around 2 a.m. Ron. Good morning. I can't pronounce your name, but I will say it's almost like a Arna. Good morning, Big Easy. Good morning, Stephen. Glad you all could make it. So yeah, so the tools that I use are there for those of you that have been asking. Um, and since I won't get a few pennies if you do purchase from Blick, I did put a little tip jar there. I know some of you all can't afford a piece of artwork, but if you feel like buying me a cup of Joe or a tea, feel free. Leave a tip. Not required, just there. And you probably won't hear me talk about it much because it's just one of those things that there's no need to. All right, so like I said, I kind of am thinking of, this is going to sound like a graphically painted style on this Batman. So what does that mean? Good question. I'm trying to figure it out myself, although I kind of know I want to, like I said, I kind of want to experiment with the tonal um, aspect of it a little more than I have been. Not that I don't like what I've been doing. I don't know. I kind of feel like I can, I can blend Batman into from the gray directly into the black. So as I as I ink some of this out that I know I want to be a really dense black, I'm going to be thinking how I can make that other part happen. And if I can, I'll work it in. If not, I'll see what I come up with. Experimentation, I guess, is always something to be aware of. And I'd like to say thank you for the people that were able to get in on the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. I picked up 2 more people. just before it shut down yesterday. So it was a successful little venture that I hadn't really thought of until Friday, when my phone kept going off with Black Friday, and I knew Cyber Monday was coming, and I don't really have product, so to speak, to sell, like inventory, but I could put these discounted for a few days. Yep. That's interesting. Just got a text. It's from a buddy of mine. Can I answer this real quick? Pardon me. All right, so all right, so we're going to get back back to business. I would tell you all what the text was about, but I'm not sure I'm at liberty to say. So I am gonna err on the side of not putting it out in the public without it being 100% confirmed. Because even my friend that sent it to me, he wasn't, I don't think 100% sure. I think that's him texting me back. Let me just check. And let's see. Let me, just pardon me one more minute. Just gonna let him know that I gotta run. Maybe he'll tune in. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I don't know when it happened, but it was talked about yesterday. Okay, I figured he would reply back. That's funny. Uh, um, I hit 100 subscribers yesterday, so yay! Get a round of applause for that's kind of the first little milestone. Is that 100 subscribers? So I don't know who that 100th person was, and I don't know if they'll. I talked a little bit about this yesterday about not getting too celebratory because sometimes that 100th person just comes in and then drops very quick and you're back down to 99 or 98. But hopefully that person will stay around for a while. And it might be, thank you, Ron. It might be the person in the room with the A icon whose name I cannot pronounce. I think this is not going to work for me because the eyes are, I was kind of putting a little wrinkle on there, but I don't think I'm going to go with that. I called an audible on that, Ron. I saw it and didn't. Actually, I saw it on the broadcast screen, and that's where I didn't like it. Sometimes that screen is very helpful. Other times it's well, when I'm watching the one that's like live that I can see in real time, that's fine. It's when I'm watching the one that has the time delay on it that, boy, that can really be bothersome. Anyway, so yep, hit 100 people yesterday. Hope I will still have 100 or more by the end of today. So you all can help. You can get the word out on your social media, and I'd appreciate it. Let people know that I'm streaming live. Let them know what you think. Maybe if you have a favorite favorite character I've done, maybe it's a character I've done for you, shoot it their way. Let them know. And I appreciate that very much. I believe this cartridge in this pen brush is about out of ink, but what I'm liking about it is the dry brush I'm getting, so I'm gonna keep it going for the outlining. So I'll keep this nice kind of rough outline feel, and also inside in here you get these nice little artifacts. This is all going to be black in here, and so is this, and I'll see how these brow lines work out. I may have to get rid of them. Right now I just wanted to keep them in. but I like the dry brush. I think it's gonna go well with this. So we'll keep that. I'm actually going to keep the light. I'm probably not going to do a holding line on the back of his neck there and the ear. I'm going to do that with a tone. Ron wants to know, does my technique vary when using the pen brush opposed to other brushes? Not really. I think it can vary. However, right now the only, I kind of stumbled into like this pen brush or pocket pen being almost out of ink, so it's kind of serving me well, because like I said, I was looking for kind of a different direction to take this in, so I'm going to play up the dry brush aspect. I'm going to go over this because I don't really care for that. That's going to go ahead and get filled in. He's going to be pretty dark up in the as this plays out. In fact, I'm getting a split here, so I'm probably going to be better off. Don't know if y'all can see this. Probably not, but it's got a split in it, and that's going to become too problematic. So I can go back to my Raphael, and well, I got it just dipped in some ink. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I meant by just getting rid of this that I didn't like. Now, sometimes like this, I'll fill these blacks in looser, meaning I'm not so careful with them, because if I get little streaks, or I can actually sometimes I'll play with little chips of little flecks of white and a black to indicate little bits of light in the dark area. So when you get that brush loaded up and you got a black area to fill in, instead of wasting the ink pointing the brush all the time, you can go to a black area and use that ink in there to fill it in. Okay. Boy, it sounds like someone's moving in the building this morning, which they very well could be. There are a couple of offices, one beside me and one across from me, that are, I don't think they're available anymore. I think they've been rented. I just don't think the people have moved into them yet. And then Ron asked, okay, different question. When doing cross-hatching, is there a particular style or technique you like to do, and why? That is a good question. There are a little bit of nuances to cross-hatching, and you can do like a circular style crosshatch, or you can just do typical like checkerboard, I'll call it, for lack of a better term. Um, I think it really is. It just all depends on why I'm doing it and where. I would say I'll call it the checkerboard cross hatching can sometimes look a bit mechanical um, to an extent. The type of cross hatching that I would say I really prefer, and I'll just call it cross hatching because I don't know if it what a technical name for it would be, is if you know the illustrator Franklin Booth, and Frank Cho will do a lot of influenced, and Kelly Jones also did cross hatching the same way, where you're basically following the form of something that you're working on. You know, the cross hatching can follow in the folds and stuff. So that would be my favorite style, and I haven't really done a lot of it. Um, I also like the cross hatching, and it's more, I'm going to call it freeform, of Sergio Topi, who it's almost like a scribble crosshatch, but his drawing and design and placement of blacks and negative space and stuff is so strong that it's secondary to what he's done drawing wise and composition wise. He's just really using it to separate light and dark, which is that's what it's there for. That's what all this is here for, all the feathering and other types of comic book rendering. Turning forms, light and shadow, texture, all that stuff. All that stuff is important. So hopefully that kind of answered a little bit. Um, I know it probably didn't answer everything, but it's almost better to be working on a crosshatch piece to answer, maybe to answer that question, it would have been better because then I maybe would have been using a technique. like I said, I really want this to be a little on the illustrative side instead of so tight. So this is a hard thing for me to let go and let some of the lines that aren't so clean kind of go. But I like it when I see it in other people's work, so I'm trying to develop, I want to say, for lack of a better term, kind of a definite, mm, looser, sketchy style that still really encompasses a good drawing and a good design. So that's what I'm shooting for here, just so y'all know. And hopefully I'll be successful. So far, I'm okay here with what I've got started. Let's go ahead and make that. And as you all can probably maybe tell by now, since I haven't brought out the ink wash yet, the idea I had in the beginning is probably not gonna make it to the final on this one. I'm getting a little darker. I was gonna go like all the way to dark here and then try to work it light, but I'm liking this what I have going, so I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna call this a safer route. I will. I think well, this I'll I will say this whole ink wash thing came to me via wanting to do a watercolor and doing a gray wash undertone. So again, that's breaking new ground for me. So I will I will say that, at least so far I've come that far. I've kind of got over that hurdle of being afraid of working in ink wash. I don't know why I was ever afraid, but I guess I was just, everyone has that fear of failure, especially when you're putting artwork out there. You just have to really, um, you 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 need to put your work out there and let it speak for itself. And you're just gonna. Um, this goes for anybody that's working. You're just gonna have to realize that some people are gonna like what you do and some people don't. There is no pleasing everybody. And that is a big mental hurdle to get over. And I know that for a fact because I still, I might be my biggest critic. I think we all are. because I can do something and I can have a group of people, maybe you guys, and tell me it's great. But if I don't like it, in my mind, it's still a failure or could have been better. So that's when you need to learn, as I still do. I struggle with this. You need to learn to move on. As I mentioned the other day, move on to the next piece. This one's done. There is no perfect. There is done. Get it done. If there's something. Now, let me interject this. It's not to say I won't. Those of you who have been with me from the start, you may have seen the episode where I showed about 4 different versions of a spirit commission I did that I self-rejected many times over before I settled on one that I felt was right. And probably the person that commissioned it, a friend of mine, Thorsten, he would have probably been happy with any of them. But for me, it just, it wasn't there. So that bothered me, and I couldn't, in good conscience, send it out to him. I know there's other people that aren't as hard on themselves as that. You know, they've done the work. Maybe it's not the best, but they can accept it and move on. And I can do that on certain things, but that, I don't know, with that particular piece, I think I had just set a lofty goal of something for myself. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's the spirit and the Will Eisner thing and his tremendous impact on comics. Maybe I felt I had to live up to, you know, doing his character and his work at least a a bit of justice. And you know, I wasn't getting that in the first versions, and then I finally worked it out to where I was happy with what I finally did complete. So in that case, it, you know, that burden was on me. And as I look back at it, I'm actually still happy I did the other version, the final one, because it makes me feel better about knowing that I fought through some stuff that I didn't like to get something I did and that I could look at and be happy about and not have uh, any regret, you know, handing it or mailing it over to the guy and having him see it among other people see it. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. Maybe those of you that are aspiring to do work know the feeling of putting that work out there online, and no matter how good you are, there's, you know, you're going to get the haters. Comes with the territory, I tell you that now. And so what? You know, like I said, move on to the next piece. That's my. Now, I mean, there are times I can't move on. I just explained one. I could not move off of that piece until I got what I felt was right. So I'm glad I did it. But in general, if it's not that bad, which I look back at mine and I still think they're bad. So like I said, that to me is the main thing. If I still look back at the ones I rejected and know in my heart they're bad, then I think I made the right decision. Okay, so that's all part of the process. All part of learning your process. Everybody has a little bit different process of how they work, even though there's a lot of similarities. Excuse me. Um, everybody thinks a little different or moves a little different, a little bit different motor skills, etc., etc. So I do feel I kind of like the direction this piece is going. I will say that. I think the tone in the background is going to be very interesting once that's thrown in. Let me take a quick, yeah. Okay, time to get out a bigger brush. Check the chat. Ron asked, do you like to place darkest shades first? When going into a piece, where do you decide where to start and why? That's a good question. This is something that I think it comes with experience. I can pretty much draw a piece and not fill blacks in, but know where to put them, where they're going to look best. And I couldn't have done that when I was a teenager, just starting out. So, like I said, yeah, I do believe that experience is a very big plays a very big role in that. So I'm not so much sure that it's on this one. I kind of I know there's going to be a light coming here. Everything here was going to be dark. I didn't want to go black on his face, although I could have. If this would have been maybe a panel in a comic or something, then perhaps for the story I could have. But since it's more or less a one-off, illustration for somebody to display, I don't feel I have. See, and that's another struggle I have. I've seen people do it where they'll black out Batman's face entirely and it looks great. And I've thought about doing it and I chicken out. And the reason I do is because I think a lot of people that buy a commission, when they see that, um, like I said, they might look at it and try to decide, did they get their money's worth? I've seen some really powerful, impressive Batman convention sketches, drawings, paintings, finished stuff where Batman is maybe just rim lit at the most. And yet they're so powerful and the silhouette is so strong that it works. I've came close to that before, I believe. Yes, it can be used as I will say yes, it can be used as a shortcut um, for certain things, and sometimes if you're known for that, give you a good example. Maybe you all have, one of the best examples is Kelly Jones. He can do a Batman with just the eyes and the cowl and the big long ears that he puts on it, and that's a Kelly Jones Batman, and that it's he's capable of drawing the face. It's just it's more powerful as a silhouette. There is a comic book artist, Jacques, or Jock, Jock, if you want to Google him, and you will see most of his artwork is very dark and obscured by shadow, but it still maintains a certain drama and strength in the drawing, because he knows where and how to put those shadows in the shading. Mike Mignola, one of my favorites, brilliant in his placement of blacks in not only a drawing but in a complete page. Placing blacks in a sequential art can lead your eye, as well as the actors, the characters. But the way the blacks flow throughout a page can lead your eye, direct it. So whether they come first or last, I think can depend on your skill level. Maybe you're afraid to put them in at the start because you're not sure if it's going to work. And that can still happen even if you're a seasoned professional. You see something in your head, put it down on paper, and then you look at it and it didn't translate. May not have translated from your mind to your hand as well as you thought it would. And then you're kind of like, well, it's a bit much, bit overdone. All right, so excuse me. going to let this dry, and I will take this time to say, if you are a new watcher to my channel, I would appreciate it very much if you have not subscribed to subscribe, and a little bell icon will pop up. That is a notification bell that whenever I go live or post recorded content, which I will get to, you will get an alert saying, hey, John posted something up. Maybe you should go check it out, or, when you get the time, go check it out. Let's let that ink dry. I'll check the chat room. Good morning, Dr. Kaz. Thank you. Batman's always fun to do. Good morning, Money Buck. No, that does not look like Sergeant Rock. And yes, Dr. Kaz, happy 100 subs. I saw that this morning when I woke up, and brought a smile to my face, and hope it's still there at the end of the day, plus some. Money Buck, I know that name. Were you my 100th subscriber, Money Buck? You could have been. I guess he will let me know. Oh, Monkey. You're right. Sorry about that. I guess I need to enlarge the text on my laptop here. Or Monkey Buck, how you been, man? And where have you been, more importantly? Anyway, okay, that's good to hear. Always nice to know that you're, well, you should stop by sometime. The doors are always open, you know that. And when I'm here, which is usually extremely early in the morning to at least mid-afternoon, if not later. All right, I really want to get some need some fresh #2 pencils, do you? Okay. Just to collect, right? You haven't finished those other ones I gave you yet. Unless you've been drawing up a storm and I just haven't been aware. And Monkey Buck, I'm going to ask you, have you given this live stream this? Have you given me the like yet? Because I would sure appreciate it if you would just go down there and click that thumb. That would sure mean a lot to me. Oh, and I do want to let people know that I kind of got sidetracked yesterday. Those of you who are listening now or might listen later, I didn't get anything packaged up because we had a few things happen here. The weather got bad. I had to get my son Jacob my mother's hearing aid started bothering her ear. She called. She could get in at 4:15 and have it adjusted. So I took her for that. Went out and got some Christmas lights at Target for the house. And I don't know if Bella's going to try to put those up by herself. Now, my wife is one of those people that she wants to do things her way, and she would rather put them up herself than to have me up there. And I don't like heights. So not that you have to get on the roof and hang over, they're just little clip-on things, but got to get on a ladder. And I've never liked standing on ladders or rooftops. So, all right. Enough of that. Enough with the jibber jabber. Let's move forward, shall we? But yeah, so we are working on a Batman that was purchased by a friend of mine. I think to gift to a friend of theirs, or maybe a family member who likes Batman. The rest of the week got sold out, and yesterday, before the extended 3 p.m. deadline, I picked up 2 more. One to be determined. The guy just wanted to reserve a spot. And the other character I like, Ghost Rider. So that's going to be fun. All right. Monkey Buck, what page do you have, sir? Your name page? Or do you have a secret page I don't know about? Because you could. Dr. Kaz, I'm not sure you were in here earlier when I did. I came in early today. I got up around 2 a.m. Couldn't get back to sleep. I get plenty of sleep though, because I do turn in early. I was probably in bed by 9 and sleeping by 9:05 because that's how fast I fall asleep. But I woke up just before 2 o'clock, and if you check, and I'm kind of, you know, I guess I kind of got to copy and paste this in all my streams now. I've added a recommended supplies list, and I had them all linked to Dick Blick. Yeah, no problem. I had them all linked as links in my Google Doc, and when I cut and pasted it over, the links weren't there. I thought they would have stayed, but they didn't. And I'll repeat this. I said it earlier, but you're in here now. Apparently, I guess sometime before I had signed up for the Dick Blick affiliate link. But now and I tried to reset it yesterday, and it became a big project. So, I mean, I couldn't do just a simple text link to save my life. They want like banners and stuff. So I was just like, you know what? It's going to take me forever to get like a couple of bucks. So I put a tip jar up there for anybody that, you know, cup of coffee, tea, you know, if you get any value from this and you want to just say, you know what, I'm gonna get John a coffee. Well, that's what that's for. It's not for any other reason except for that. So just passing the 411 to the people that share the stream with me every morning. So I'm glad I wanted to let you know that I did get like I said, I'm probably going to have to go back now and kind of um, put that in my other ones, little cut and paste job through, what is this? Let's see if it is 16th, 17th one today. So that's not that bad. It goes pretty quick. Hey, thanks, Ron. Yeah, only these eyebrow things are going to get shaded down because they're thinner, and I don't want them to be so prominent. So I am putting a little darker tone on them, but the rest of it, the way you see it, is going to be white because I want those to really stand out. And let's see. Now it's going to be time to get the paper wet and gray. Maybe this is when I should bring out that big 1-inch flat brush that I haven't used yet. I need some dark. I've got some drinking. Yeah, I might want to use it. I've got some drinking water over here, and I almost just went with my brush into that. My hand was in motion, and I pulled it out just in time. Or pulled it away, rather, not out. If I pulled it out, I would... Okay, do your stuff. Sorry I got to spin this around a bit, but it's kind of the only way I know how to do it to get the drips is just really let it get wet and let it go. But stop it before it gets into any of the art I don't want it. This I would like to go a little bit more. Let's see if I can. Come on, give me that teardrop. Come on. I think I'm going to have to nudge it a bit. There we go. Good morning, Shannon. How are you doing? right, now it gets excuse me, it gets a little more tricky the closer we get to areas that I really got to be careful around. All right, that's going good. Now I need to go boom with some dark. You know what, Ron? My friend that had sent me a text earlier, because he heard something that I had not been aware of yet. But like I said, I can't really say the whole thing, but I will just tell you, and next time I see you, I can tell you in person. I just can't broadcast it like to the general public yet because it may or may not happen. But I'll just say that your nice score on getting tickets to Heroes Con for this year just got more interesting. How about that? I'll leave it at that. And when I'll either I'll either text you the information or tell you. But if any of you out there do go to conventions, and Dr. Kaz, you're close enough by. Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, will be June 14th, 15th, and 16th. And if it's a convention where the artists, it's like a real, old-fashioned comic show. There's comics and comic artists, and that's what it's all about. You put your left foot in. Yeah, I just kind of realized. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up that if you've never been there, if I don't know if you've ever been to a convention or not, but um, I didn't go last year. I was in Denver. I usually do Heroes Con every year. It's usually the one show that it is usually the one show I do every year. I mean, like every year. Uh, so we'll be back there this year for sure. Hey, Don, good morning. Yeah. Hey, Ray Dog. How you doing? Good, I hope. Yeah, Heroes Con is um, it's a good time, and a lot of artists. I mean, just you know, it's a proverbial who's who of comic book artists, past, present, and I guess I could even say future. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's, to me, it's ran well. It's very affordable at the door. If you want a comic book convention, then definitely check it out. Shelton, the owner, he's not into bringing in the media people and stuff like that. He would rather bring the artists to the public, and he does. So it's one of the shows that I know a lot of friends of mine, artist friends, and collectors. It's their, one of their must shows also every year. Can't say enough good about it. You've never been there, Ray? Man, I thought you were there. Yes, it is, Don. And it's, it's a shame because, a lot of the people um, that are going to shows are, you know, they don't have an understanding of the comics. They only have an understanding of the movies and the TV shows and whatnot. They don't have the history of the comic books, which is sad. Billy, I thought you had went up to Heroes before. That's kind of surprising to me. I know, unless you just didn't go. When I lived in Orlando, when Brad and Smitty and I used to go, there would have been no problem um, hooking you up, you know, staying in a room was. I know we did. You and I did some show. Was that a Tampa Bay show or something that you and I did together, Billy? I remember you were at some show with me. I think that's going to need to dry. Um, it's a little wet, but I do want to go a little darker on his underneath his cape here. So I'm going to use it time to put another wash of this darker gray. To let that recede back a little bit more. Now, if I had a hair dryer in here, I could dry that real quick. You might. Whoop. You might. There might be. I can't really say about a show in Orlando, but there could be a new, smaller one-day show coming next year in the Orlando area. And I'll tell you what, if you check out, it's coming up soon, Billy. Check out the Infinity Toy and Comic Con. It's ran by a guy named Louis. You can look him up on Facebook. It's I think it's going to be at the Holiday Inn on Alafaya Trail, down away from UCF. And I'm not sure if he's booked up or not. I don't plan on being there, but I know about it. I believe it's December 1st or 2nd. I know it's like it's this, yeah, it's got to be this Sunday. Yeah. Anyway, about the Infinity Show, maybe get in contact with Louis and at least go to the show and talk to him and let him know that I sent you. And I will talk to you about the Daytona show for 2019 in April. So let's see. All right, people. I think this is semi-dry. It's still wet. I actually I want to do just a little bit of definitely try to go by that show and talk to Billy. I think it's close by you. All right. I think I'm going to cut this edge here just a little bit more. Now that I got a little bit of dry on it, I need to do that first. Now I want to get a little wetter. And a little wetter with the pigment. And then I want to get real wet. There we go. Come on. Give me what I need to see. And that's okay if you go off the top of the page. That would be my sister, so I'm almost done here, but I will return her call in the next couple of minutes. Okay. I'm going to keep this down. Well, my sister either didn't leave a voicemail, which I'm thinking, or she's leaving an incredibly long one, which I know she wouldn't. Okay. I need to really let this dry, and then I'm gonna fool around with some real dark or something effects in the background. Not black, but darker. So, since I can't do it now, oh yeah, then you're good. Yes, Dr. Kaz. Heroes Con is going to be perfect because you're not going to have to deal with. Uh, I think the 3 days for if you want to go all 3 days, I think the admission price is $50, which is so affordable compared to most shows. Um, you won't have to deal with the media guest if you don't want to. I know some people enjoy that. I'm not putting it down, but I do know that some people prefer um, comic artists and writers only. You can also fill in your back issues. Um, if you have any comics you're trying to complete, any runs or anything like that. But yeah, I can highly recommend Charlotte. I've been doing it since the second one back in 80, I think 84. I missed the first one in 83, and I think that was only I was on the flyer. I can't remember that many decades ago why I actually missed it. Something must have came up. But anyway, yes, I can recommend it highly. It's well run. Um, it's in a good venue, and you'll have a good time. Especially you will see a lot of comic book artists that um, in one spot. You'll get more bang for your money probably going there than any other show. So for now, I'm gonna let this dry completely. Then I will be able to. I just want to add a few things I can't do now because of the dampness of the paper. It's not going to allow me to do anything. I just wanted to smooth out a little bit, and then I'm going to go back in with some dark. And what I'm probably going to do is take my paper towel and texture it up. So I'm going to let some dark kind of dangerous. I might have to do it flat. Let some dark wash get on it and then blot it. So I come up with a nice kind of textural background. So I appreciate everybody showing up this morning. Tomorrow we're going to get busy again at 7 a.m. That will be Hump Day, Wednesday. And I think tomorrow I need to choose whether I do Captain America or a symbiote Spider-Man. I don't have it in my head yet which one I'm going to do. I'll think about it today. Maybe if I get one laid out later today, that'll, or maybe both of them, maybe I'll just decide which one. But thank you all for showing up. If it's your first time here and you're not subscribed, please do. I'd like to get over 100, get that 101 going so I can get on my way to 500 and 1,000 and who knows how many more. I appreciate everybody hanging with me. I did put the suggested supplies, the supplies that I am currently using in the show more link down below. All that can be purchased online or at your favorite retailer if you have a good art supply company near you. So appreciate it. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Until then, take care and have a great day. Thank you.